we move on with our World Cup quarterfinals reactions. Argentina move on in another penalty shootout. Argentina and Netherlands finished 2-2 in a very heated, physical, controversial game. Move on in penalties. Lautaro Martinez's penalty that sent Argentina through to the World Cup semifinals against Croatia. Imran, thoughts?
Yeah, this game had all the drama from all the yellow cards and the last minute winners and the penalties. But to me, like to start with the Netherlands, I thought they just were in the game for a lot of the game. And although Argentina were the better team, they still couldn't find that breakthrough until that Messi magic pass to Molina, who finished it off. And again, in the second half was Argentina again, and they got the penalty 2-0. You were thinking they're done. Netherlands are done somehow, and they somehow found a way because they subbed on Weghorst
Luke de Jong.
and yeah, Luke De Jong first, and then Weghorst second, and they just kept just lofting balls into the box, and they finally found one with Weghorst, and at the dying minutes, they somehow found that penalty, that free kick, which they somehow scored
Dumb
in,
free
and
kick. Dumb free kick to give up.
yeah, that was a dumb penalty.
Dude, I'm
Dumb
rewatching.
foul by Paredes for sure. Like there were two players right there. You didn't have to push him. Like, but that's like kind of what's it called? Like, what's the word for it? Like when you're like in the future and now you're just looking back at it, whatever. But like at the end of the day, the Netherlands somehow took it to extra
Revisionist history. Revisionist history or whatever.
time, and again they went back there first step. Hmm?
Yeah. Oh, are you done?
No, no. Netherlands, I just felt like in the extra time they just went back to how they were in the first half and like for a lot of the second half, and they let Argentina back into the game. And although they would have been happy with going to penalties, even Van Hal was saying it before the game, they just couldn't get the job done at the end because Emi
He
Martinez
guaranteed
was
it.
just he
He
guaranteed it.
guaranteed it.
Okay, yeah, like at the end of the day, Emi Martinez just made a lot of saves and two
Look,
saves, right?
Louis
And
Van
just
Gaal did a lot to stir up this Argentina team. He pissed them off. I mean, when you say Messi going up to them at the end of the game, did you see that? Messi going up to them
yeah,
at the end of the game.
and the assistant coaches and
Edgar
I haven't
Davis was
seen
about to
Messi
rip
like
his
this
head off.
ever. Like he was
Okay,
celebrating, he was like after the
okay.
penalty, like even after the goal, it was just different
So,
from.
yeah, I mean, they really Argentina in the first half, like they Netherlands was able to get possession of the ball and all sometimes, but in terms of the first half, Netherlands couldn't really concern Argentina's backline whatsoever. It was all comfortable, and Argentina had their one or two moments,
Well,
and they were able to take advantage.
I
They were
should
able to find space and take advantage. Um, but yeah, even though the possession was 50-50 in the first half, it seemed like Argentina was the only team that was capable of creating a dangerous chance that actually concerned. They had a couple moments getting it out to their fullbacks, their wingbacks, and getting balls in. Argentina matched them up, which I thought worked for them tactically because they I thought they controlled the game, especially within the first 70, 75 minutes. It really went the way that they wanted to, be solid, have a solid base, get one or two moments, and then be solid first and then worry about, and they got their
yeah,
chances and they got their goal. One moment of magic from Messi, then one penalty, rash play from Dumfries 2-0. And that for Argentina, that should have been done and dusted. See, that's exactly how Argentina want to play. And then the Dutch were able to get on Weghorst and Luke de Jong, and they changed the way that they played. The Netherlands, when you see Netherlands play the USA, it was build up. It was the few moments that they'd actually have possession of the ball, quick build ups, and get the ball in dangerous areas and go. Well, they really couldn't do that against an Argentina team who has a lot more experience than the US. So they had to go last 10, 15 minutes because just to get themselves back in the game the direct way, which I'm surprised that they didn't consider doing that after the first half because the first 60 minutes they were so they didn't even compete. Like they had one shot on target. It didn't even look like they were going to concern Argentina. It seemed like the Argentine back line could have sat there and smoked a cigar because there was no concern. But then you get the big boys up and you make those little defenders, because let's face it, all three of them are short. Otamendi, Romero, um, Lissandro
Yeah, Lissandro,
Martinez,
yeah.
they're all below 6'1". I don't know understand why it took them so long to go direct. That should have been a decision that they made at least like 55 minute. When you're down 1-0 and you see that your team is not capable of building out and playing, you got to go direct. And when they did go direct, they caused this Argentina backline so much trouble. Every time the ball went in and they got second balls, they won second balls, they won the ball high up the pitch and they went. They were able to get that first goal through a cross, the big horse taking advantage of his height, and then the second goal, they won the ball off of what? A long ball, a second ball. They were able to draw the foul, and that foul, brilliant set piece play. But then I was surprised whenever the extra time started, they didn't go. It was like, oh, now we got to be back solid, just see it way out to penalties. I was surprised. They had all the momentum. They still have Veghorst, Luke de Jong up there. Suddenly they decided it's not time. They don't want to go long anymore and actually, use their momentum to try to get that third goal to see it off before penalties. But instead they invited the pressure from Argentina, and Argentina attempted. They had their chances. Enzo Fernandez hitting the bar, couple crosses, headers that if they were framed on target, it could have won them the game. But they allowed the pressure. It was like they resorted back to their normal ways, even though they had all the momentum, even though they had all the even though the game was going their way with the directness that they were playing with. I just don't understand why. And when it reached penalty shootouts, it's a gamble, and Emiliano Martinez was able to get 2 saves, and Argentina players took advantage of that.
Yeah, and for Argentina, it's always been about Messi. If it's gonna be if they're gonna score, it's gonna be because of Messi. And again, Messi got the job done. He got the assist for the first one, and he scored the second goal as the penalty. And going forward, it's still gonna be about Messi. If Messi doesn't get his magic, how are you gonna score? That's still the question for Argentina. But defensively, they're solid today. Even though I didn't think the Netherlands were that threatening really until like the last 15-20 minutes.